right, well, let's move on to Amy Robach and T.J. Holmes. A lot of people have been talking about this story, but multiple sources confirmed to Us Weekly that they are not expected to return to GMA3 after news of their affair broke last year. So an insider told us that Amy and T.J. are out. A decision has been made. The network is negotiating with them on their exit deals and announcements. So ABC has not given a public update on the duo's status at the network, but they were pulled from the air back in December, and the roles have been taken on by temporary hosts who still say that they are filling in for the pair. And they're still featured in the opening credits, but we do have reports that they have lawyered up and are prepared to fight this investigation. So why do you think that the two of them would be fired if this was a consensual relationship between two people of pretty much equal merit as well?
Yeah, so, coworkers can engage in affairs. Obviously, if it's not harassing or sexual assault, it may not necessarily be illegal, but employers can't prohibit their employees and have rules against fraternization and dating in the workplace. So I don't know if ABC has that rule. I don't know if there's something in their specific agreements that prevent them from having these types of relationships, or sometimes there's just these morality clauses where you don't want anything, if you're the host of a really important, show that, a lot of folks watch, Good Morning America, that just really brings bad publicity and light to the network. So it depends on the terms of the agreement that Amy and TJ signed, but also the internal ABC, which is owned by Disney, their policy. They may have a policy against executives or employees from dating one another. And if so, they'd be able to move forward with discipline or even termination.
Yeah, definitely. If there is not that clause in the contract or things like that, do they have a case on their hands if they are fired? Or do you think that they are probably just kind of negotiating an exit deal at this point?
Yeah, potentially. And it really depends. Are they at-will employees or is there an employment agreement? I think with someone like them, because they're talent and they're hosts, they are going to have employment agreements. And then in that agreement, there's going to be two bases for termination: for cause or without cause. Generally, for termination without cause, some sort of payment will have to be made by the employer to the talent. And if it's for cause, and if it's really under the terms of the agreement, something like this, whether it's, dating a coworker or being dishonest to your employer about that, that's grounds for a for-cause termination. The network may have to pay nothing at all.
Interesting. So, if they get into this legal battle, will this help or hurt Amy and TJ's image going forward, do you think?
I don't think it's going to hurt. I mean, this is Hollywood, right? People date each other all the time. I mean, it would have been a bad look if they were married at the time and then ended up in a romantic relationship with a coworker. It seems like, at least what was reported, is that they were separated from their respective spouses. Sometimes people have work wives or work husbands. Maybe it was an emotional affair. But from what's being reported, nothing physical happened until after the separation. So I don't think it's going to hurt them.
Right. I mean, in your opinion, do you think that they will be permanently fired from the network, or maybe just not on the show together anymore? It seems interesting to me because I think that this would be like a ratings bonanza for GMA, and you'd want to put them on at least for a little while because people want to see what they have to say. But it seems like GMA has another reason as to why they want them on the air.
Yeah, it could be great for the show while things are working, but we all know, like relationships, a lot of them fail, right? So the concern would be it doesn't work out, and now you have two people who are no longer in a romantic relationship on set together, having to see each other all the time. And that would be the concern. Maybe you want to kind of split them up, put them on two different shows. So just in case it doesn't work out and things go down, you're not going to have that sort of weird, awkward relationship with your co-host on set.
No, definitely. And like going back to the investigation a little bit, they did say that they were, investigating whether or not other employees knew what was going on at the time, and if it, made it obvious that they were having this relationship. So knowing that, does it could seem like maybe there was that clause in the contract that being like, maybe you shouldn't be dating a fellow employee?
Yeah, the ABC may have that rule, and even if they have that rule, it might be, well, you can't do it, or if you do, you have to notify your supervisor that this is happening so they can take the appropriate precautions. So maybe that they violated the rule against dating, or maybe it was okay to date as long as you provided your employer some sort of notice so they can make sure that, they counsel you and HR is involved accordingly. So depending on what rules, internal rules ABC has, it's two early to say whether, the anti-dating rule was violated or the failure to notify.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.